I still couldn't believe what he had just told me. "Why didn't you ever tell me this before?" I shouted, my voice shaking. "Why did you keep this from me all these years? And now Mom is gone, I can't even ask her about it." My dad didn't answer. He just sat there in the driver's seat, holding the steering wheel so tightly that his knuckles turned white. His lips moved slightly, like he wanted to say something, but no sound came out. The car was parked on a quiet street, the engine was still running, and the soft humming noise was the only thing breaking the heavy silence between us. I was breathing hard, my chest rising and falling like I had just run a marathon. Everything felt upside down. My name is Hannah, and I just turned 18. Today was supposed to be special, a day to celebrate growing up, maybe even to start fresh after everything we'd been through. But instead of cake or a party, I was sitting in a car with my dad, trying to understand a secret that changed everything. This road trip had started out so differently. We left Seattle early in the morning, heading south to San Francisco. I thought it would be fun, a chance for us to finally talk, to reconnect. After Mom died 2 years ago, Dad had tried here and there, awkward dinners, questions about school, the occasional compliment, but nothing like this. A whole road trip, just the two of us. It surprised me. Honestly, I almost said no. It didn't seem like something he'd normally do, but when I looked at him that morning, holding the map and car keys with a strange look in his eyes, hopeful, maybe even a little desperate, I agreed. And at first, it felt like the right decision. The first few hours in the car were light. We listened to music, joked about road signs, talked about places we wanted to stop along the way. He even brought up Mom a few times, which he rarely did. At first it hurt, hearing her name, but after a while, it felt good, like she was still with us somehow. But as we drove further, the mood started to shift. His tone got more serious. He kept apologizing, for the way he used to act, for the things he never said, for not being there enough when I needed him. He told me he had regrets, lots of them. He said he wished he had done things differently. I thought maybe he was just emotional about the trip, or still grieving, but deep down, I could feel it, something bigger was coming. We stopped at a small roadside motel that night. It was old and plain, with scratchy sheets and a heater that made more noise than warmth. We ate dinner at a nearby diner under buzzing fluorescent lights. I watched him closely across the table. He kept trying to smile, to keep things light, but I could see something was bothering him. "You okay, Dad?" I asked. He hesitated, holding his fork halfway to his mouth. "Yeah," he said, then quickly added, "Just tired, long day." I nodded, but I didn't believe him. That night, back in the motel room, I sat on the edge of the bed while he took off his jacket and hung it over a chair. The silence felt heavier than ever. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. "Dad," I said softly, "is there something you're not telling me?" He stopped moving and let out a deep sigh. "It's not the right time, Hannah," he said. "When we get to San Francisco, then we'll talk." I looked at him, confused and a little scared. "Why not now?" I asked. "We're alone. I can handle it, just tell me." He rubbed his face with both hands and sat down in the chair like all the energy had left his body. "It's complicated," he said. "I've made mistakes, big ones, things I regret, things I can't take back." He looked up at me. His eyes weren't angry, they were tired, sad. "Your mom was always the one who made everything okay. She had this way of fixing things, of making life feel better. After she was gone, I didn't know how to be a dad on my own." I leaned forward, heart pounding. "But you tried," I said. "I know it wasn't perfect, but I saw you trying." He let out a small, bitter laugh. "Trying isn't always enough. I was lost, Hannah, and I was so wrapped up in my own pain. I didn't see how much you were hurting, too." His words hit hard. I didn't know what to say. "I never stopped loving you," he went on. "Your mom and I, we loved you so much, but I didn't always know how to show it." I sat back, quiet. I could feel something inside me shift. Some part of me that had been angry for a long time was starting to soften, just a little. "You don't have to say anything," he said. "Just know this trip, everything I'm going to tell you, it's because I want to make things right." Later that night, after he fell asleep, I lay on my bed staring at the cracked motel ceiling. I couldn't stop thinking about everything he had said. Growing up, my dad was never cruel, but he wasn't warm either. He always seemed distant, like I was a puzzle he couldn't solve. I remembered the times he got angry over little things, spilled milk, messy rooms, homework mistakes. He never hit me, But his words were sharp, and they stuck. Mom was the opposite. She was my safe place. Her hugs could calm any storm. Her laugh could light up the darkest days. She never raised her voice. Instead, she listened, explained, and made me feel understood. When she died, it felt like the light went out of our house. Everything became colder, quieter, lonelier. I kept waiting for Dad to step in, to comfort me, to fill the space she left, but he couldn't, or maybe he didn't know how. Thinking of her helped me calm down. Her face, her voice, the way she made me feel like I mattered, those memories wrapped around me like a blanket. I closed my eyes and let them hold me, just until I finally drifted off to sleep. Ride. I sat quietly in the passenger seat, leaning against the window as the city passed us by in a blur of lights and motion. For a moment, I let myself believe something nice was happening, that maybe Dad had planned a surprise for me. A birthday dinner, maybe a visit to a place that reminded him of Mom. Something meaningful. But as the tall buildings faded and the streets became quieter, my excitement slowly turned into unease. The roads grew narrower. The houses looked older and more worn down. It didn't feel like a celebration anymore. Finally, Dad turned down a dim, narrow street. He slowed the car and looked closely at the mailbox numbers as we passed them. Then he stopped in front of a small house. The paint on the porch was peeling, and the grass in the front yard hadn't been cut in a long time. "We're here," he said softly as he turned off the engine. The car fell into silence, and for a few seconds, it felt like the air had gotten heavier. I looked around, confused. "This is it?" I asked, unsure. "What are we doing here?" I had imagined something different. A restaurant. A park. A memory. Not this. Dad didn't answer right away. He just stared at the house, gripping the steering wheel tightly. "Hannah," he said after a long pause, his voice shaking, "there's something I've been meaning to tell you. It's not easy, and I should have said it a long time ago." I turned toward him, suddenly nervous. "What is it, Dad?" I asked, trying to keep my voice calm. "You're scaring me." He let out a long, slow breath and finally let go of the steering wheel. "After your mom died, I wanted to tell you this so many times. But I couldn't. I was scared. Scared of how you'd look at me. Scared it might break something between us. But you're 18 now, and you deserve the truth." I could feel my heart pounding. "You've probably wondered why I was distant when you were younger," he said. "Why I didn't always know how to be there for you. It wasn't because of anything you did. It was me. I hated myself for the way I treated you." He paused, running a hand through his thinning hair. "When your mom and I got married, we dreamed of having kids. She talked about it all the time. But we couldn't. I couldn't. And it crushed me. I felt like I had failed her. I got bitter. I got angry. I shut down. I stayed silent, just listening. Your mom never gave up on having a family. She believed in adoption. She believed love wasn't about blood, it was about heart. She convinced me to try, even when I was afraid. And then we found you." His voice cracked. "I wanted to love you the right way, Hannah. But every time I looked at you, I saw everything I couldn't give her. I hated myself for that. And instead of dealing with it, I pushed you away. I told myself I was protecting you, but really, I was just afraid." Tears welled up in my eyes. I'd waited so long to hear him say something like this. But I didn't expect it to hurt so much. "When your mom passed," he said quietly, "everything changed. It hit me how much time I'd wasted. How I'd let my fear ruin what could have been a beautiful bond between us." He looked at me for the first time since we stopped the car. "You were adopted, Hannah. Your mom and I adopted you when you were a baby. We agreed to tell you when you turned 18. She thought we should tell you earlier, but I couldn't. And after she died, I didn't know how to do it without her. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. The word echoed in my mind, adopted. I stared straight ahead, unable to move. Dad continued, his voice soft but honest. "I brought you here because this is where your biological mother lives. We thought, when the time came, you might want to meet her. Or at least know who she is. But that choice, it's yours. I turned to him slowly. You're serious? I whispered. She lives here? He nodded. Then he pointed to the glove compartment. There's something else. Open it. I hesitated, then reached over and opened it. Inside was an envelope I hadn't paid much attention to earlier. My hands shook as I pulled it out and opened it. Inside was a single piece of paper. My original birth certificate. I stared at the name under Mother. It wasn't the name I had grown up knowing. It was a stranger's name, printed in black ink. My voice trembled. What is this? Dad's eyes met mine, full of sadness. It's the beginning of your story, he said. The part we never told you. I stared at the house. The chipped paint. The overgrown yard. And then, I saw something. A shadow behind the curtain. Someone was there. Watching. I clutched the birth certificate tightly, trying to keep my emotions from spilling out. That's her? I asked, barely louder than a breath. Yes, Dad said gently. That's your biological mother. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know how I felt. My heart was heavy with questions. Who was she? Why did she give me up? Did she ever think about me? But another voice inside me asked, what if seeing her doesn't help? What if it only makes things worse? Dad spoke again, his voice calm and supportive. It's your decision, Hannah. If you want to meet her, I'll be right here. If you don't, that's okay too. Whatever you decide, I've got your back. And now here I am. Sitting in a car. Holding a paper that changed my life. Watching a house that holds answers I might not be ready for. So I'm asking you. If you were in my place, what would you do? Would you walk up to that door and face the truth? Or would you stay in the car, hold on to the life you've built, and leave the past behind? Let me know in the comments below. I really need your thoughts right now. And hey, if you felt something from this story, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us keep sharing these stories with you. Thank you for being here. See you next time.